Are you married to a narcissist? This is what happens if your wife is a narcissist. Intrigue yourself, for if you've stumbled upon this video, chances are you're either entangled in the clutches of a narcissistic marriage or acquainted with someone who is. Unraveling the intricate web of abuse can be a daunting task, particularly when your spouse possesses a cunning ability to manipulate, tricking even experienced mental health professionals. However, know this. You are not alone in navigating the treacherous waters of a marriage with a narcissistic partner. Today, I stand beside you, ready to arm you with the knowledge necessary to identify the worrisome behaviors that may be plaguing your relationship or that of someone you know intimately. Gaining insight into the typical behaviors exhibited by spouses in your predicament is an invaluable tool to gauge the health of your own marriage. Survivors of narcissistic abuse bear the brunt of their partner's consistent lack of empathy, resulting in severe detrimental consequences. Therefore, we embark on a journey to explore the 10 telltale traits experienced by male victims ensnared in narcissistic marriages with female narcissists. Our goal? To break the destructive cycle, empowering you to prioritize the construction of a life brimming with joy and fulfillment. Let our exploration commence. Number 1. Ever vigilant and hyper-aware. Husbandly victims of narcissistic brutality exist in a constant state of alertness and apprehension. The mental and emotional toll of perpetually warding off imminent attacks has transformed their homes into fortified fortresses instead of sanctuaries. A relaxing environment that should exude comfort morphs into a sinister battleground where every word is cautiously chosen to avert gratuitous conflict. The sense of surveillance stifles their innate right to serenity and safety within their own dwellings. Number 2. Shackled within unhappiness. In the intricate web of narcissistic marriages, men find themselves ensnared, their voices silenced, and their agency stifled. The suffocating grip of their narcissistic wives leaves them feeling utterly helpless, devoid of any means to extricate themselves from this nightmarish plight. The complexities of handling their wife's bewildering antics confound them, rendering escape seemingly impossible, even in the face of intolerable abuse. The narcissistic wife's arsenal of manipulative tactics perpetuates a cycle of dominance, exacerbating the challenge of breaking free. In this dark period, a sense of hopelessness and isolation pervades. Number 3. Yielding to the commandments of a spouse. Navigating the perilous terrain of a narcissistic wife's expectations and demands can transform cohabitation into a constant source of tension and apprehension. Striving to avoid provoking her wrath, you find yourself tiptoeing gingerly at all times. Should you dare to disobey her instructions or challenge her views, retribution looms in the form of affection withdrawal, threats of divorce, or financial ruin. The weight of living in this manner bears an immense toll, shredding your sense of self and leaving you questioning your very identity. Reclaiming control over your life may prove arduous, but erecting firm boundaries and voicing your needs with clarity can serve as a beacon of hope. Number 4. Shouldering the burden of blame. When married to a narcissistic force, self-blame may insidiously consume your psyche, leading you to assume responsibility for the problems that plague your relationship. The weight of her vile treatment can convince you that you are the catalyst for her malicious behavior. It is essential to firmly grasp the truth. You are never to blame, for her malevolence knows no boundaries. The narcissistic woman adeptly deflects accountability, exploiting your vulnerability to shift blame onto yourself or others. Seek solace in seeking help and support. Never forget that you do not deserve the abuse inflicted upon you. Do not be ensnared by the fabricated tales woven by your narcissistic wife, designed to shatter your self-worth. 5. Becoming a savior, perpetually aiming to please. Existing within the orbit of a narcissistic female can feel like a relentless dance on a precariously fragile tightrope. She manipulates circumstances to ensure that her needs and desires consume your every waking moment, relegating all else to mere afterthoughts. This Herculean task seems insurmountable, leaving no room for respite or recovery. In your valiant bid to salvage your crumbling marriage, you may discover yourself sacrificing everything on the altar of her happiness, even at the expense of your own needs or those of your children. The pursuit of her elusive approval may drive you to extraordinary lengths, showering her with opulent gifts and catering to her whims. Yet remember this, no happiness should supplant your own, for it is imperative to safeguard your unique identity above all else. Number 6. The deafening silence of suffering. The torment inflicted by a narcissistic woman leaves you imprisoned in a bewildering haze of confusion and isolation. Withdrawing from loved ones becomes a natural response, as you feel no one truly comprehends the intricacies of your marriage or the reasons behind your decision to remain entwined. Beware the treacherous allure of silence, for it breeds resentment and deepens the chasm of despair. Embracing the courage to open up becomes vital, even if you have been conditioned to guard your thoughts and emotions. Remember, you are not alone on this arduous journey. Compassionate souls exist, ready to extend a helping hand and offer steadfast support. Number 7. The quest for unending validation. In a healthy relationship, the desire for acceptance and validation naturally resides within both partners. However, within the toxic dynamics of abuse, an insatiable hunger for the approval and admiration of a narcissistic counterpart takes hold. Entrapped within an abusive cycle, your narcissistic partner becomes the sole arbiter of safety, leaving you yearning to regain their acceptance. Your own needs take a backseat as you strive relentlessly to win their elusive validation. Recognize this codependent pattern for what it truly is, an unhealthy coping mechanism. It is crucial to acknowledge that seeking approval solely from your partner is not the only option available to you. Number 8. Isolated from beloved connections. Maintaining connections with loved ones while entangled in a marriage with a narcissistic wife presents a formidable challenge. Your spouse, wielding her power and influence over you, cunningly manipulates perception, planting seeds of doubt regarding the detrimental impact of engaging with your support network. Fabricated tales and lies may poison their understanding of you, compounding the obstacles to seeking their assistance in times of crisis. The insidious tendrils of isolation and loneliness engulf your mental well-being, severing the vital lifelines to your cherished relationships. Embracing the healthy practice of reaching out to those outside the confines of your marriage for emotional sustenance is essential. Cultivating a nurturing bond with your loved ones can alleviate the burdens of marital stress and invigorate the core of your being. Number 9. Drowning in unhappiness and the depths of despair. Under the oppressive weight of an abusive narcissistic wife, it is no surprise that misery becomes your constant companion, making it increasingly challenging to navigate the intricacies of daily life. Patience wears thin, and once joyful activities lose their luster as the dark cloud of abuse hovers overhead. The unfathomable burden and anguish inflicted upon you make the struggles all-encompassing. Denial becomes an ever-present companion, further eroding your mental well-being, leaving you trapped in a cycle of despair. In concluding this video, I sincerely hope that the revelations brought forth shed light on the intricacies and foundations that sustain the toxic behaviors exhibited by narcissists. My utmost desire is for this information to prove invaluable in guiding you towards a path that prioritizes your well-being. Thank you for entrusting us with your time and attention. We eagerly anticipate the opportunity to cultivate further content that will enrich your journey. May your days henceforth be filled with warmth and serenity.